Connie and Fish.
Hey, it's Steve from Connie and Fish, and we did a text question of the day today that is, what is the most random fact you know? And Connie told me that I needed to bite my tongue during that segment because I'm a know-it-all, and that I might be calling people out for stuff that's not true. So I decided to shoot this little video, and I spent about 2.5 hours fact-checking every single one you sent in. And so if you sent in something that wasn't 100% true, I'm about to correct you right now. So, enjoy. Alright, the first one Fish told me specifically not to correct because the girl that wrote it in is only 10 years old, but I found it a duty of mine to give her some correct information. So hers was, "Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm 10 years old and I have a fact. It takes 2 hours to boil an ostrich egg." Close, but not 100% correct, which is what we're looking for here, Audrey. So it takes about 90 minutes to hard boil an ostrich egg. Maybe if you want it overdone, it could take 2 hours. Alright, the next one. Koalas poop green fuzzy balls. They eat them for substance. There's my daughter Charlotte. That is pretty much true, but only the babies actually eat the poop. And they eat the poop so they can get bacteria in their intestines so that they can properly digest things. And then next one that wasn't 100% correct, horses cry through their noses. That's partially true. They can also cry from their eyes. They have ducts that run from their eyes down into their nose, so if they have an overflow of liquid coming out of their eyes, then it'll also run out of their nose. Next one, random fact, the definition of an idiot is a person with an IQ of 19 or less. That is also only partially true. There have been a range of IQs that are defined as idiot, but I can't find any reference to the number 19. I saw anywhere from 0 to 25, but I didn't see anything about the number 19. The next one is weird, true, random fact. The length from inside of your wrist to the inside of your elbow is the same size as your foot. No one believes it until they put their foot on their arm. Oh my gosh!
No one believes it until they put their foot on their arm. Oh my gosh!
The cat just literally tried to climb my back. I hope that got on camera. That's insane. Ow! I'm gonna be bleeding out of the back. She's hungry and wants dinner. Alright, so that the arm size thing, that's mostly true. The size difference is almost exact, but sometimes the size differs slightly. So like mine is a little bit bigger than that area. Alright, next one is the human head weighs 8 pounds. That is mostly false. A human head can weigh 8 pounds, but it usually weighs between 10 and 11 pounds. That weighing of 8 pounds is actually a quote from the movie. What movie was it, Britt?
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, okay. Alright, the next one is, I'm not sure it's a fact, but to get rid of warts, 2 different ways I've read in the Reader's Digest years ago are to spit on it first thing in the morning, your first saliva of the day, and the second way is to put duct tape on your warts. That is partially true. Spit will not get rid of your wart, but duct tape is a good home remedy, and doctors have even said that. The next is the human eyeball is the same size from birth until death. That is untrue. A baby's eye is about twice as small as an adult eye, and so your eye will grow through puberty up to the adult size eye. Next one, 13 miles west into Lake Michigan from Grand Haven, the water is 300 feet deep and the most beautiful blue ever. That is partially true. The depth is only about 150-ish feet in that location. It looks like it doesn't get any deeper than that unless you go further north into Lake Michigan. I don't know about the most beautiful blue ever, though. I haven't been out there, so I'll just take your word on that one. All right, next one is random knowledge. Bell peppers have genders. That is false. Peppers do not have genders. The flowers that produce them do, and the number of lobes have nothing to do with that gender, because they also sent a meme in that said that depending on how many lobes in the bottom of the pepper, if it's 3, it's female, 4, male, or something like that, but that's not true because some peppers have 2 and some peppers have 5. Next one, if you blow air while saying ah, the air is warm, but if you blow air saying ooh, air comes out cool. That is partially true. The air is technically the same temperature, but the force at which you blow it out causes it to mix with the ambient air around at different rates, making it cooler or hotter. So sometimes if you are blowing it out with a ooh, it's more force, and if you're blowing it out with a ah, then that's less force. And the less force one causes it to mix with the air slower, and then that doesn't necessarily work. All right, next one is 3.5 ounces of pizza sauce can have up to 30 fly eggs. That could be partially true. It totally could, but most don't. The FDA actually regulates it, and I believe it's something along the lines of pizza sauce can have 1 fly egg and up to like 15 maggots per serving for it to be FDA approved. All right, next one is headstones in cemeteries faced east and west. That is false. It is a common Christian tradition to do so, but it's not always observed, and a lot of cemeteries don't necessarily have it face from east to west. Next one is the most random fact that I know is that every time you sneeze, your heart stops. That's mostly true. Your heart rate definitely changes, but it's still debated whether or not the heart actually stops. So the electrical activity in your heart doesn't actually stop, but the palpitations will change the rate, and so some people consider that a stoppage of the heart. Next, horses have the largest eyes of any mammal. That's partially true because they have the largest eyes of land mammals, but seals and whales have larger eyes, so those are sea mammals, but they have larger eyes. Next one is, back a long time ago, men used to be able to beat their wives with a stick no larger than the diameter of their thumbs, hence the rule of thumb. So weird it was even an option. That is maybe true. Sadly, it was legal for men to beat their wives at various times in history, but it's uncertain if that is where the phrase came from. There's also some other origins of that phrase that do not include beating your wife. Next one is, the majority of polar bears are left-pawed. That is false. There's no evidence to support this. Most polar bears use their paws equally, and that is done by the foundation that is set up to just observe and to protect polar bears. Next one, random fact, the average person will come in contact with 17 serial killers in their lifetime. It could totally be true, but it's almost impossible to prove this. A lot of people have tried to do the math, and people seem to think that you come in contact with about 10 murderers in your lifetime, but that's not necessarily a serial killer. So that one's really hard to prove or disprove. Next one is, less than 25% of women ever have a big O. And you know what I'm talking about. That's partially true. It's about 10 to 15% of women never experience that. But it is true, in fact, that about 25% never experience the big O from balloon animals. They get it from other sources. All right, next one. The skin on your elbow is called your weenus. So I like to walk up to men and tell them I'd like to see their weenus. Okay, so that's kind of both true and false. Technically, it's a slang term for the skin on your elbow. So sure, why not? But actually, the scientific and the only names for that skin flap in the dictionary are olecranal skin or the antecubital fossa. All right, next one is, essential oils can actually penetrate your cells to kill viruses and bacteria. Tests have shown that molecules of essential oils reach the brain within 22 seconds. They will be found in your bloodstream within 2 minutes, and they will affect every cell in your body within 20 minutes. All right, that is mostly true. It is true that some essential oils can kill viruses and bacteria, but not all can. Also, the times mentioned could be true, but I only found memes and like Facebook posts with those statements, and I couldn't find any actual scientific studies that include those numbers. All right, next up. The most random fact I know is fish's name is Edwin. Let's see this make it on air or the website. It could be true. Nobody really knows his first name. I'm pretty sure it's Fish. All right, next one is, another fact about a serial killer is that Howard Hughes, the creator of the Murder Hotel in Chicago during the World's Fair, went to the University of Michigan. That is false. He went to the California Institute of Technology and then Rice University, which he later dropped out of. Next one up is, mummies smell like pine trees. That could be true. They smell musty and sometimes smell like the oils and scents used in the embalming process. So if the scents or the oils smelled like pine trees, it's certainly a possibility that they could as well. Next one is, you can't keep your eyes open when you sneeze. This is false. Most people close their eyes, but some can keep them open. They actually did this during a Mythbusters episode. Next one is, after you die, your fingernails never stop growing. That is also false. They stop eventually, and then it just kind of appears like they continue to grow as your skin begins to decompose. Ew. Alright, next one is, it takes only 8 pounds of pressure to tear someone's ear off. That could be true. I don't think anyone has ever measured this exactly on a living human, but the internet, everything I found seems to think that's 8 pounds, but I didn't see any scientific things behind it. Calico cats are always female. That is false. I have a calico cat, and she is female, but about 3% of calico cats are male. I found that out because I was telling my vet that all calico cats are female, and they quickly corrected me and told me, yeah, no, they're not. Alright, next one is, the first your mom joke dates back to 1300 BC. That is almost true. It's technically 1500 BC, but who's counting? And, well, I am. But that is basically from Babylonia, is where there was some tablets where it was from a school, and some kids were talking crap to one another about each other's moms. And then the very last one that isn't 100% true is, catnip is 10 times more effective at repelling mosquitoes than DEET. That is partially true. It has been found that it is more effective, but it's only about 55 to 60% more effective, not 1,000 times more effective. So those are all of the not 100% true random facts that you sent in. And I, like I said, I fact-checked every single one, and there's links to every single one, whether it's true or false, showing the science behind it, or whether or not it's true. If you can find something that's wrong, please let me know and I will update it, because I like to know the truth as much as you. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye!
Connie and Fish.